Hello and welcome back to Tottenham Logic TV. Today I want to talk about Tottenham's transfer window in January, a very important one in my opinion. I'm probably not going to have time to talk about this after the international break because we've got 2 games per week all the way up until Christmas. It's going to be a very busy schedule and there's probably lots of games I need to be talking about. So whilst it's boring and there's not much to talk about, I want to talk about this today. So what do Tottenham need in the transfer window? So, as you know, Tottenham are struggling with squad depth, for squad rotation, playing 2 games per week, having many injuries on top of that, especially to forward players. Another major problem now we have is Rodrigo Bentancur's ban has started and he won't be able to play the next 7 games. The reason why I say this is a major problem is because he's probably the only player we have got that can play that number 6 role the best out of the lot of them. I still don't believe he's a number 6 or a DM, but he's the only one that can hold on to the ball, get us out of trouble. He gives us that solidity in front of the back four. You know, he's the most experienced player there. So he's going to be a big miss, in my opinion. He's going to miss big games. He's going to miss City. He's going to miss the Chelsea game. He's going to miss the Liverpool game. He's going to miss that big cup quarterfinal against Manchester United as well. So he's sorely going to be missed, in my opinion. I've heard news yesterday that Archie Gray might be now being played in midfield in the DM role. So as much as I'm curious about that and I want to see it, the other half of me saying, well, he's not played 1 minute in the Premier League in midfield yet. So a little bit dubious about it and excited at the same time, but we really need to buy a renowned DM, really, in my opinion. Then there's a curious case of Jed Spence. I nearly said Benjamin Button then. The curious case of Jed Spence. Why the hell was he not put in the Europa League squad? We're thin in the back four as it is, and he's not been selected. Secondly, he should be getting more minutes in the Premier League. Porro and Udogie haven't exactly been like on fire this season. Both of them making mistakes, both of them, you know, out of position for goals and giving the ball away. And Porro's not really doing much going forward anymore. So why is Spence not getting more time? Every time I've seen Spence, he looks pretty decent. Richarlison can't stay fit. Odeberg can't stay fit. Van de Ven does his hamstring in every 3 months. Sonny's minutes are limited due to burnout. Maddison can't get minutes because of Kulu's performances, although I think Maddison's played pretty decently this season. Bergvall and Dragusin don't look like they're adapting to the Premier League as of yet, but there's still plenty of time for them to get used to it. And Werner's had 64 one-on-ones and only scored 1 goal this season so far. We have no cover for left back, no cover for a left-sided centre back. Although Davis, I think, is a good defender, he just can't handle it in this system. We need a proper DM, and we definitely need to get a better goalkeeper to cover for Vicario. So there's so much we still need to do. And we all know this ain't going to get done in January. Not all of it, maybe some of it. But what can we realistically do? Firstly, let's look at the outgoings. Now, I'm basing this on Postecoglou still being here, by the way, and manager in January. I really hope he is, and I really hope the consistency improves. If it don't improve, maybe he won't be here. But for the purposes of this video, Postecoglou will be here in January. Firstly, Werner needs to be let go early, in my opinion. He's got all the attributes to play Ange ball. He's just got no end product whatsoever. You know, he can't cross and he can't score. And that's what we need from our forward players. And unfortunately, he's just not doing it. And he's on a high wage bill. We just need to get rid of him in January. If any offer comes in for Richarlison, we should snap their hands off. He just cannot stay fit. And when he does come back, he's just not good enough technically. And that's a really weird thing to say about a Brazilian. I'd much rather Lancashire plays up front as a backup to Solanke rather than Richarlison. I think Davis, if I'm not wrong, is in his last year of the contract. So maybe he could be sold in January to get a bit of money, or he may just go for free in the summer. Incomings, we definitely need a left-sided centre-back. But if we got a left-sided back, centre-back, that's good on the ball, but can also and has a bit of pace about him. The pace is definitely a must. And they could play left back as well. That's like two positions filled in one. So then we'd have like a Van der Ven that could play left side of centre back and left back, and then the other guy that comes in that could do both positions too. That would leave a bit of pressure on Udogie, in my opinion. If we could get a DM in, I'd be very happy. But it looks to me like we're going to get that Johnny Cardozo guy in centre mid. And he's going to be on the cheap. So obviously that's what Levy will do. So I doubt we're going to get a DM in January. We definitely need competition for Brennan Johnson. I know Yang's coming in mid-December now, but I don't think he's going to be ready to at least the summer to start playing Premier League football. He might not even be ready by then. And I know that Odegaard was supposed to be coming in to replace Johnson, and by the time January comes, obviously Odegaard could have had a run of games by now, and he could be in that right wing position ahead of Johnson. We don't know. So this is all hypothetical. But if Odegaard can't stay fit, then we're going to need somebody that can take on their man and cross the ball and score goals. You know, Johnson is really good at getting on the end of things, but he's just not that man you want to do anything else. He's just not bringing anything else to the table at the moment. He's got good work rate as well. I'll give him that. If Ange is here in January, that just means we've gained more consistency and we've probably been putting in better performances. It would probably also mean that we're through in the Carabao Cup. So we'll be in the semi-final of the Cup. If so, this January window is going to be even more important. One that we'll see now how much Daniel Levy is willing to back his manager and push us on to win a trophy. Because if again he fails to back him and we don't go on to win anything, Levy is going to get so much criticism. I'm telling you. Let me know in the comments, what kind of players do you think we should bring into this club in January? What do you think the realistic expectations we should have? I know a lot of you are Levy out, so your expectations are going to be a lot lower. And if it's just Yang that comes in January, we'd have to call it January, then it's going to be a huge problem for us going forward, because our squad, I don't think, is strong enough just yet to compete on all four fronts. Well, I'd say all three. We're not going to go for the Premier League. Do you agree with my outgoings, or is there some other players in this squad do you think that we should loan out or we get rid of that I haven't mentioned yet? And I'll see you on the next one. And come on, you Spurs.